Should be live. Am I live? I'm live. All right, let's see what we got here. Hey, all right. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. All right, let's see how this sounds. We've got the air conditioner on, so I'm hoping it's not too bad, and it doesn't sound too much like a. I think I could probably. Sounds like it's feeding back. It sounds like there's like a really high pitched sound, and I bet you I could tune that out. I can tune that out. So let's see. Go ahead, because it's probably about, oh yeah. Let's see if we can drop that out there. See if that sounds any better. Oh yeah, listen to that. Ah, it's gone a bit. Maybe a little bit. I can tune it out of the mic itself. Go ahead. Oh, nope. All right, check. Can you hear that? How's that sound? Is that any better? Oh yeah, that is a lot better. 12,351 hertz. And that really killed the thing. Ha! Guys didn't know 12,351 hertz really makes it sound like I'm not feeding back anymore. And I can have my air conditioner on because when it's 70 something degrees in Alaska, that's hot. And it's pretty hot outside. Closing statements today. Closing statements in the Karen Reed trial. I noticed that Runkle right now is going through them, and Turtle Boy's going through them right now. Lawyer, did. Let's just go ahead and check this out. Make sure you guys can hear this. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Oh wait, I gotta add my cameras here. Hang on. Duh. All right. Okay, add camera. Okay. Add that camera. And we'll add another camera. It should be that one. Yep, that one. Okay, and I can still hear that stupid thing in the background. I thought that 12,351 hertz did it, but maybe not. Maybe we'll have to go here. Might have to just take all the high end out of my voice there. All right, so now let's show that on the stream. See what switch them out here. Drag to reorder. All right, now can you hear it? That's the biggest question here. Oh, not yet. Okay. Why? All right, let's just play it and we'll get it going. B2 should be coming through. Why is it not? Let's see. Should be that one. It's let's try.
And he swipes the Brian Higgins very oddly goes directly to Canton Police Department. Why would he do that? After a night of drinking and partying, why go to CPD when you're drunk? What was so important there? He couldn't even get his own story straight.
All right, we got
First he said it was administrative work, then he said he was moving cars, then he said it was a factor of both.
Just do it on the same channel that my mic is on.
Was he there to gather intel? Ask yourself, why go? But the odd things keep piling up, and here's another.
It doesn't make any sense that he would go. Even his own excuse is something that doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right, so that's working. So now I'm going to turn off myself in my ear because that's when you produce your own show. Sometimes you got to make these choices that sometimes work, sometimes not. Let's see, we should have dogs. I don't know where the dogs are, man. They're not here right now. Go ahead. Show you what we got here. Ooh, a very good look. Do that. Got that. All right. Not sure where dogs are. Well, I see them. They're right down next to me on the floor. Sure we can coax one into the bed here in a little bit. But anyway. All right. Well, closing arguments were today. I thought Alan Jackson knocked it out of the park. Lolly came out and lied right from the get-go that, you know, that she just, I mean, what the beginning of Lolly's opening statements were everybody, the fire department showed up on the scene. They're all trying to save John. They're performing life-saving measures. And Karen walked around individually to each one and just told them over and over again, I hit him, 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 I hit him. Like 16 times she said, I hit him. That's basically what he said this morning. That was the way he opened his opening statements is firefighter Flamati. Oh my God. Firefighter Flamati. Karen Reed said to him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Now, and the testimony was, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Lally, in his closing statement, was, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him 4 times. So not only is it exaggerated that she walked around to every firefighter and cop on the scene and said, I hit him multiple times, it's that he added a completely extra, I hit him in there. And then he just, fortunately, I had a meeting that started early this morning. And so, because, you know, for me, opening statements started at like 6 something in the morning. So opening statements started early, so fortunately I had a meeting, and I was able to go to that meeting and not have to listen to lollygagger, which, yeah, thank goodness, because I don't know if I could have, but I will have to catch up on it at some point in time because, yeah, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Thought I was live. Thought I was live on Facebook. Why am I not live on Facebook? Huh. Stupid Facebook. Let's see. Are we live on the channel? Maybe. That nobody watches. I mean, it's not like anybody watches the channel, but Facebook, I don't know, man. I don't know about Facebook. It's like they want what, they seem to just want yeah, I know I set up Facebook to go live. What in the world? Okay. Whatever. Whatever, Facebook, you can just go away. Yeah, I know. I lost my train of thought there. Totally lost my train of thought. So, yeah. Jackson, opening statements. Oh my goodness. That was just completely different. Completely knocked it out of the park. Just killed it. Oops. Over here. Shoot. Probably my other sign in. Not on this computer. Gosh darn it. Oh, is it up here maybe? Oh, no. Of course not. Okay. I'll be right back. I got to get a code. Stand by. Okay. Right there. Oh, he's going to fight over now, huh? Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see. Dang it. All right. Log out. Log in. Thought we were in the right one, but I guess not. Now I got to go get a different code. Oh, wait. It's on that one. Okay. Yay. Oh, yeah. There we go. Not my first stream. Goodness. Kick obviously doesn't change the message. It just is my first stream. So session info. My first stream. Oh, we want to show that. How do we edit it? Action. Okay. Thought there was a way to edit it while the stream was going on. Oh well. Hey. Hello. How are you? What'd you think of the closings today? I thought Jackson did a phenomenal job from the get-go. Look the other way. Look the other way. What opening Karen Reed was framed. Let's check that out. Oops. Nope,
What's up, everybody? And
let's go back. Let's get
our first live.
Oh, there's a live with Turtle Boy and the Glare. Okay. Let's look at Brandy's. And let's go all the way back. A1. Opening statements. Let's see. Okay, that was before the opening statement. So A1.
Yes.
I mean, this is just, yeah, that's dumbass. Right here.
Karen Reed was framed. Her car never struck John O'Keefe. She did not cause his death. And that means that somebody else did.
Like I said, Lolly came out. The first thing he did was say that Karen went up to every single firefighter that showed up on the scene and said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Like she just kept walking up to random people saying, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. That's what he made it sound like. So that was the
You will learn that it was no accident that John O'Keefe was found dead on the front lawn of 34th Fairview Road.
So then we go to today. I caught it on Miss Burkhart's channel because she rocks. And yeah. So let's see what Mr. Jackson came up with to start off the day.
So we do hear from defense first. How weird. What a weird system.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I mean, just coming out with bangers, just coming out with bam. This is what happened. Karen Reed was framed. Look away. The Commonwealth wants you to look away.
Look the other way.
Or look the other way.
Look the other way. 4 words that sum up the Commonwealth's entire case. 4 words that sum up the hopes of those who have tried to deceive you. Conflicts of interest? Doesn't matter. Just look the other way.
This is
Magic
so
hairs,
strong. So
magic glass.
strong.
Look the other way. Late night
So
calls, and Google
strong.
searches, falsified affidavits, inverted videos, and butt dials galore. Just look the other way.
And then the gall of that. I don't want to start cursing already on the stream because, you know, I mean, it's not like we're monetized or anything, but still. So let's just look at dummy here. How does he start his opening statement? Let's see. Go all the way back.
That may be mentioned. Remember, news media or from artists, when you took out there, follow that
Oh my
fairly
gosh.
and without.
Ah,
And I ask only that you keep your voice up, please.
Do my best. Good morning.
So as Your Honor was telling you, this is one of the two opportunities that I will get to address you. The first of which right now, essentially what I'm going to attempt to do, and I know you've heard over the course of the impoundment.
Karen Reed was framed. Look the other way. The Commonwealth wants you to look the other way. And then this. And then today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we got Jackson. And then how does he start his thing? I mean, he tries to start off with a banger. I'll give him that. He did try to start off with something. Let's see.
I hit him. I hit him. I hit him.
We knew it.
I hit him.
We knew.
So he starts off with a lie. He starts off, tries to come out all Jackson-y, but he starts off with a freaking lie because it was 3 times. They said it 3 times, not 4 times, and he says it 4 times. Amazing.
Knew it.
Those are the words of the defendant. 4 times. You heard testimony from 4 different witnesses who overheard and observed those statements from the defendant on January 29th, 2022.
But they didn't. That's not the testimony we got. There was so much more of this too. There was a ton of this. There was and then I don't know this scientifically. I haven't done any testing on this, but I think it's pretty obvious that. Hey, better give that a thumbs up. I never gave that video a thumbs up. Did I do the one today? No. Gosh. I'm a bad YouTube person. Gotta thumbs up those videos. That people who have people's speaking voice lends to their credibility, I think. And so, like Yannetti.
Brian Laughlin saw a Ford Edge parked on the side of the road.
So, he's got a bit of a Northeastern accent, right?
Zero investigation.
He's got a pleasing voice.
Discover who's Ford Edge.
Throughout the course of the trial, and I think I'm going to do a whole video on this because I find it kind of fascinating to think about. But his voice and then Jackson's voice is the same. He's got
Write vague and false police reports, omit witnesses' names, omit witnesses' interviews altogether.
he
Don't
talks a
photograph the
little
evidence,
fast.
don't conduct any, they say didn't see him go in. Well, the question you have to ask yourself is, can you rely on that? First, these are all people.
But he talks fast, yes, but he also has a fairly pleasing sounding voice, if that makes sense.
Who are related to or committed to the Alberts in some way or another.
Clear.
That all-powerful Canton family, it's easy to say, I didn't see something, because how can that really be challenged?
So he's more of a tenor voice, right? So Yannetti.
You learned that members of the Albert family drove Ford Edges. You learned that
Yannetti's got more of a deeper voice, right?
the police to this day claim
again,
not to know
it's smooth.
it was parked right next to the area where John O'Keefe's body was
So
later found.
he's more in the 800,000 to 500 hertz area where he's more in the mid-range, like 2,000
John walk into the house.
hertz.
They were in the kitchen, as you
2K.
From Nicole. Third, at least one witness, Brian Higgins, forgot his
more of a
narrative,
tenor where
at least for a second.
Yannetti's got a bass, and then we have this, which
the day of the snowstorm on the 29th. So he had been back at the house at 34 Fairview while his family was out at the waterfall. He had a number of friends that had come over that evening to celebrate his birthday.
Just starting off, you'd see the differences in their voice, right? The two defense attorneys have almost they're not really a singing voice per se, but they're pleasing, at least to listen to. And then this is not pleasing to listen to. This
Now,
is not.
Among those friends was two individuals named Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel, and they were at the residence at 34 Fairview for a good portion.
And you notice, like Yannetti, Jackson,
A man did, in fact, come into the house, and when he was caught,
see his
and asked to
register
describe
goes
that
up
man,
and
he had
down,
to.
right?
it was a little
His-
bit vague. You remember what he said? He was tall with dark hair. That was a telling slip of the tongue by Brian Higgins. But what's the real evidence of the unbiased data?
And then hitting emphases. Like bringing your pitch up and down, bringing your volume
The
up and
data that's
down.
not connected
Like
to the
that.
output of the unbiased data, Higgins.
The unbiased.
But what's the real
like he
evidence
hits that.
of the unbiased data? The data
Make
that's
sure
not
to
connected.
Enunciate
family.
things. Whereas we have
Now, those individuals from the waterfall
on a straight,
that
just
leave
I'm
and that
going to
come,
talk on the
to
same
34
level.
Fairview, they do so
I'm
sometime
not
shortly
going
after.
to up and down my
Shortly after midnight
voice.
is when it starts to snow. Worries are starting to come down. Snow is starting to stick. The
Which one is more pleasing? So which one do you have? Yeah, no, exactly. They have more, a lot more nuance, a lot more expression. Whereas Lolly is just, he's straight, monotone, and so you know, as a listener, you're going to tune that out. Pardon that. You're not going to remember as much. It's not going to be as memorable when you're just here getting this and that's all you get, and you have to listen to somebody do this constantly. You don't want to listen to that. That's not pleasing to your ears, so you tune it out more. It's crazy. All right, let's but yeah, I am concerned. I do have concerns about the jury and the deliberations. It kind of hit me. I put it out on X that this case was brought in the state of Massachusetts, and it was brought by citizens of the state of Massachusetts. My hair is crazy. Most of the people that testified in this trial are citizens of the state of Massachusetts. Most of the people that testified against, the ones that testified against Karen Reed, were citizens of Massachusetts. And the jury, a lot of them citizens of Canton or the surrounding area of Canton and Norfolk County. And the same is true of the jury. And the jury it's possible that they could succumb to the same pressures. I thought it was ridiculous that the Higgins or the McAlberts were in the freaking stands today. I mean, you got people in the gallery. You got the McAlberts in the gallery staring at the damn jurors. Yeah. No, I started to watch exactly. I caught that from the beginning, and I caught his I hit him, which is the first lie. And then immediately after that, he started lying again. I mean, just so many lies. And I'm gonna do this final video here, which eventually we're gonna start getting some clips from from it. Let's go to Emily so we can get started on this. But so you got all those things, all those, the state of Massachusetts brought these charges, the people that charged against them. So all it takes is one juror. All it takes is one juror that is simpatico with the McAlberts to wreck the thing. Oh, I have to take this call. I will be back momentarily. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I had a meeting this morning, so I wasn't really able to pay much attention to that this morning. Thank goodness. Let's that's why. Ooh, okay. So we've got. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about the jurors. I'm worried about I'm worried about deliberations. The longer it takes, and it's just going to take one. It's going to take one to lock this whole thing up and come up with the hung jury. And then when you get a hung jury, if this jury hangs, and all of a sudden the state gets to decide if they're going to recharge her or not. Are they going to file charges again or not? And how long did they take to get them their evidence? How long did they hold back evidence from the defense? A lot. They held back a lot of evidence from the state or from the defense. Why would they decide quickly to recharge her? Why? They wouldn't decide quickly to recharge her.
Good morning. Good morning.
They're going to hold it up as long as they possibly can. And then they're going to hold that over her head for as long as they possibly can. All right, and my wife is out of town, so of course everything is happening right now. Okay, so first clips I want to get are the Boston Globe clips. So let's search for Globe. And you got to spell Globe, or you can search for Globe.
Headline that I received in my email from the from Boston Globe headline.
The Boston Globe has been busy.
Yeah, with some kind of a
to UMass. She went to
Probably
MIT,
a
Lally.
year or 6 months, 6 months to a year.
There was never any headlines or anything else that you saw about this prior to that.
Okay, so let's get this whole interaction here. You guys know why? You know why I'm getting this, because this was the damn stupid thing that Lolly decided to try and impeach her on. I'm going to impeach this witness. I'm going to say that she said she had her Boston Globe account for 12 to 18 months when she never actually said that.
Beyond that,
ER.
I
Close.
don't believe I did.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring up the bar and pin that there. Hit that and hit that.
now, this first instance when you say you heard about it, how did you hear about it?
Well, I believe it was via a
News.
headline that I received in my email from the from Boston Globe headline.
The Boston Globe has been busy.
Yeah, it was some kind of
Yep.
there was some kind of interesting case, and I got it as an email, and I looked into it.
It is an interesting
was that?
case.
Well, that was that week in May, that just a few days before May 17th.
You subscribe to the Boston Globe online?
I did at that time.
You don't
I have
anymore?
not renewed it.
How long had you been a subscriber to the Boston Globe?
I'm going to allow it.
I mean, she went to UMass. She went to
Probably
MIT,
a
Lally.
year or 6 months, 6 months to a year.
There was never any headlines or anything else that you saw about this prior to that week just
Not
before
that
May?
caught her
so-
attention.
Not that I paid attention to.
Right.
I have nothing.
All right, nothing further. I have nothing further.
Anything further?
Okay, so, all right, so now let's go back to her testimony. Okay, and did she testified on this day,
Good
right?
morning. Good morning.
Okay, that was Melpy. No, I'm just kidding. Whoa, she's in a helicopter. What? A hotel room, not a helicopter. Why would I say she's in a helicopter? Because I know what things are. All right, let's see. Go transcript. And then let's find the globe again. All right, so was this the...
Think anything of it. Then I saw an article that indicated that there was some.
I asking you anything about anything, any article in
Let her
saw an
finish.
article in the Boston Globe
Yes.
about this case? Is
You
that right?
asked.
Yes,
And how did you come upon it? You have a subscription to the Boston Globe?
I did at the time. Yes,
Did at the time. What time was this?
in May.
May of 2024?
Yes,
And how long had you had a subscription to the Boston Globe at the time that you saw this?
it was either a 6-month subscription or a year. I don't remember.
And that was the first time that you had seen anything about that?
He's going to step in it because I don't think it's the first time she saw anything about the case. I think it's the first time she saw anything about a dog being involved in this case. I think he's going to step right the fuck into it because I think her looking at this case probably doesn't even spark her interest until somebody says that there is an animal involved. Then she's like, wait a second, that's my corner of nerdiness.
First time I paid attention to anything like that. Yes,
Now, again, you had testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this. Is that right?
yes.
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months.
No,
Remember, not 6 months a year.
So only one person can talk at a time. So was that your testimony, doctor?
no, I
She
don't
looks
believe so. I
pissed.
believe that I said it was a 6-month subscription or a 12-month subscription.
Do they even have an 18-month subscription? Because that's a weird length of time.
In any event,
What
you
a
saw
stupid-
something, is that
But in any event, God, that guy just drives me crazy. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to leave it on Emily here because I want
Good.
more stuff from Emily, but I don't, let's go ahead and go to Brandy for the 18-month thing. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. I want to see if anybody picked up on that whole 18-month thing because that was just dumb. I mean, she absolutely said it was 18 or 6 months, 18 months. Now I'm doing the 18 months. 18 months. No, she absolutely said it was 6 months to a year. There's no equivocation whatsoever in her voice that it was 6 months or a year. So, hey, I'm just gonna double check. Oh, you know what? I don't have up is my X. X marks the spot. X.com. No. Verification. Yay. All right. Hey, no, I guess I want profile. All right. So, okay, yeah, let's see. All right, so I'll go ahead and record it from Brandy, but then I want to see if anybody actually caught this thing because just how in the world do you think? And then, my thought was something should have come of this because, I mean, that's you're trying to impeach the witness, but you're lying about it. You're absolutely lying about what her testimony was, and nothing came of that. Nothing at all. There was no admonish. There was no rule. There was no, they didn't say anything the next day. What the hell? There was no, they should have gone back the next day and admonished that. Absolutely should have. All right, let me find it. All right, I'm going to have to turn this off. Guess it's going to get warm. So I had to turn off that air conditioning. Couldn't do it. All right, so let's go ahead and set this thing back. Now I don't have to cover up a thing. Yeah. I don't have to cover up an air conditioner whine. That sounds like a freaking feedback machine. Anyway. All right. Okay, Control F. Nope. What's that? All right. Transcript. Get the transcript up. Now we'll Control F. And we'll find the Boston Globe.
May of 2024?
Yes,
And how long had you had a subscription to the Boston Globe at the time that you saw this?
it was either a 6-month subscription or a year. I don't remember.
And that was the first time that you had seen anything about that?
First time I paid attention to anything like that, yes.
Now, again, you had testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this, is that right?
Yes.
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months? You
No.
remember, not 6 months a year.
So only one person can talk at a time. So was that your testimony, doctor?
No, I don't believe so. I believe that I said it was a 6 month subscription or a 12-month subscription.
In any event, you saw something, is that,
Any of it.
that's the first
Good
time that you recall seeing
Lolly,
anything?
you're such an idiot. All right, let me get start there, I guess. Turn that off, hit that.
You're
And then we'll
reaching out or
record.
contact in regard to this case. How did that come about?
Okay. I saw an article, I believe it was in the Boston Globe, regarding this case. And I didn't, initially I didn't think anything of it. Then I saw an article that indicated that there was some,
I'm not asking you anything about anything, any article indicated. You saw an article in the Boston Globe about
Yes.
this case, is that right?
yes,
And how did you come upon it? You have a subscription to the Boston Globe?
I did at the time, yes,
Did at the time. What time was this?
He is such a
in May,
May of 2024?
yes.
And how long had you had a subscription to the Boston Globe at the time that you saw this?
It was either a 6 month subscription or a year, I don't remember.
And that was the first time that you had seen anything about that?
First time I paid attention to anything like that, yes.
Now, again, you had testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this, is that right?
Yes,
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months? You
No.
remember, not 6 months a year.
So only one person can talk at a time. So was that your testimony, doctor?
no, I don't believe so. I believe that I said it was a 6 month subscription or a 12-month subscription.
In any event, you saw something, that's the first time that you recall seeing anything in the media about this?
what an idiot. Guy is a freaking moron. Let's see. All right, I gotta see if any of our creators caught that. Let's go, lawyer. You know. No, it'd been day 29 as well. Okay, and bring up the transcript. Control F, find the globe.
How long had you had a subscription to the Boston Globe at the time that you saw this?
It was either a 6 month subscription or a year, I don't remember.
And that was the first time that you had seen anything about that?
First time I paid attention to anything like that, yes.
Now, again, you had testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this, is that right?
Yeah,
Yes,
because he does a clip show, not a clip show, but he does a follow up the night of, and he's gonna find it. Oh, I agree. Yeah, no, I mean that's accusing her of lying or making. I mean, what an idiot.
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months?
No.
Remember, not 6 months a year.
So only one person can talk at a time. So
So I went back and listened, or somebody sent me the clip or something, and she said 6 months to 12 months. So I don't know why and it doesn't even matter. Like, this is the type of stupid stuff you don't want to do on cross because it wastes time. It makes you look like a bully. It makes you look like a jerk. The judge has to jump in, and it just doesn't. Does anybody in the chat, especially the Karen Reed is guilty and she needs to go to prison for the rest of her life, any of those in the chat, do you think it's a big deal whether this witness had a 6 month, 12 month, or 18 month subscription to the Boston Globe?
Right.
Does anybody care
Exactly.
about that? I just don't get it. I don't.
All right. Yeah, we're going back to get that. Cool. Okay. All right, we'll start it there and we'll record.
And how long had you had a subscription to the Boston Globe at the time that you saw this?
it was either a 6 month subscription or a year, I don't remember.
And that was the first time that you had seen anything about that?
First time I paid attention to anything like that, yes.
Again, you were testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this. Is that right?
Yes.
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months.
No.
Remember, not 6 months a year.
So only one person can talk at a time.
So I went back and listened, or somebody sent me the clip or something, and she said 6 months to 12 months. So I don't know why and it doesn't even matter. Like, this is the type of stupid stuff you don't want to do on cross because it wastes time. It makes you look like a bully. It makes you look like a jerk. The judge has to jump in, and it just doesn't. Does anybody in the chat, especially the Karen Reed is guilty and she needs to go to prison for the rest of her life, any of those in the chat, do you think it's a big deal whether this witness had a 6-month, 12-month, or 18-month subscription to the Boston Globe? Does anybody care about that? I just don't get it. I don't get why that matters. Let's stick to the stuff that matters. If you want to hammer her credentials and you think that's a good argument, go for it. He asked her about this article. I thought she stumbled around a little bit. And I thought it was pretty good. I do think the defense handled it on redirect pretty well too, but let's listen to Lally kind of spring this article on her that basically says what she's testifying to is inconsistent. At least that's what it sounded like on cross.
Say that again, Mr. Lally. What's the report?
Yeah, that was that. Yeah. Yeah, she did. It did kind of make her sound like that article was bad for her, but then she was able to correct that. Okay. Let's check. Let's go ahead and pull Mel up. Melanie. I want to see what she got out of the. I don't know. There's so much more to get it, but this whole Boston Globe thing just drives me crazy. It's the little absurdities of this trial that keep coming out. The little absurd things that just make you question, is this timeline that we're in actually real? Is this real life that we have? First, that we have this trial, that this person went to trial for, was this is Richard Green? Is there another part of 29 that I'm okay? Yep, there we go. That, somewhere along the lines, we have gotten off on some kind of alternate universe, and it made us
Testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this. Is that right?
Yes.
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months.
No.
Remember, not 6 months a year.
She did not say that.
So only one person can talk at a time. So was that your testimony, doctor?
No, I don't believe so. I believe that I said it was a 6-month subscription or a 12-month subscription.
We were there. Lally.
In any event, you saw something. Is that
all right? I got to get that too. Then we'll decide which ones to use on time. All right, we'll get it from there. Hit that.
at the time that you saw this?
It was either a 6-month subscription or a year. I don't remember.
And that was the first time that you had seen anything about that?
First time I paid attention to anything like that, yes.
Now, again, you had testified here just a couple of days ago when I asked you questions about this. Is that right?
Yes.
It wasn't in your testimony just a couple of days ago that the subscription was actually for a year or 18 months.
No.
Remember, not 6 months a year.
She did not say that.
So only one person can talk at a time. So was that your testimony, doctor?
No, I don't believe so. I believe that I said it was a 6-month subscription or a 12-month subscription.
We were there. Lally.
In any event, you saw something. That's the
In
first
any
time
event.
that you recall seeing anything in the media about this case was in May of 2024?
All
It's the
right.
first-
Okay, so I got enough of that. Let's go ahead and put that in a folder. All right, so okay, so folder. So let's archive this stuff. It looks like I got some old stuff in there. So shift. It's all Trooper Paul and Goofball. All right. And then we'll call this Boston Globe. All right, we got the Globe stuff. Okay. What else?
Which one was it that you spoke with Mr. Jackson?
I didn't speak to him.
You did not speak to him?
Not speaking, not verbal. There was some email communication or text communication.
You communicated with him, was it
Yes.
on the 17th or the 18th?
Yes,
Gosh.
both, I think.
Both, okay. And when did you render this opinion as far as what you've testified to here today?
Shortly after he sent me the files.
Now, in regards to those files, you testified in this court a couple days ago, correct?
I did.
And you were under oath at that point, is that correct?
Excuse me?
You were under oath at that point, is that correct?
Yes,
And when you were asked specifically what materials that you had reviewed,
So you
you
got?
included a number of items, but you did not include anything about a Dr. Sheridan affidavit, anything about a UC Davis report, or anything about any sort of bite history for a canine that lived or resided at 34 Fairview Road, correct?
that's correct because I hadn't
Hmm.
reviewed them then.
And so since then, 2 days ago, now you've reviewed them, correct?
Yes, I became aware that those files existed. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You became aware of those files. Were they not sent to you previously?
No, I think there were technical difficulties regarding me and the computer and downloading from Dropbox and so yeah, so they were, I think they were sent to me, but I think I didn't open them.
Now, with reference to
Technical difficulties. This courthouse just got Wi-Fi like a week before this trial started. Okay. This is amazing. This is fantastic.
these technical difficulties, did you ever express any of those technical difficulties, or, hey, I can't see the whole file, or there's other things?
All right, I guess we'll get this. Maybe we'll. Go ahead and record this.
Point, is that
Yes.
correct? And when you were asked specifically,
He sounds
what
like such a
materials,
jerk,
that you
man.
had,
I mean,
reviewed,
So you got?
why you got to
number
be
of
such a
items, but you
jerk?
Did not include anything about a Dr. Sheridan affidavit, anything about a UC Davis report, or anything about any sort of bite history for a canine that lived or resided at 34 Fairview Road, correct?
That's correct because I hadn't reviewed them then.
And so since then, 2 days ago, now you've reviewed them, correct?
Yes, I became aware that those files existed. Yes.
I mean, don't have to cut this
Became aware of
down in
those
the
files.
video,
Were they
but
not sent to you previously?
No, I think there were technical difficulties regarding me and the computer and downloading from Dropbox.
She's so
and
nice.
so yeah, so they were, I think they were sent to me, but I think I didn't open them.
Now, with reference to
Technical difficulties. This courthouse just got Wi-Fi like a week before this trial started. Okay. This is amazing. This is fantastic.
these technical difficulties, did you ever express any of those technical difficulties, or, hey, I can't see the whole file, or there's other things in here that are listed that I can't look at?
No, I wasn't aware.
And so with regard to, as far as your reaching out or contact in regard to this case, how did that
All right.
come about?
okay. So what? Go back to her testimony. So that's Lollygagger doing his thing. Let's go back to EDB because I like her. Just she's a good. Plus, she's got this wonderful Dr. Marie testimony. Okay, so let's go back to here. All right, let's.
That we're getting to Dr. Russell. That's right. I
Doctor, what do
forgot
you do
that
for a living?
court takes lunch.
I'm emergency room.
Okay, I want to get some of her.
So Dr. Russell has testified on voir dire.
I don't know if you can see it, but the getting to Dr. Russell is the clap. Oh, look, music. So that Dr. Russell has testified on Vader. I'm like, on Vader. So voir dire, but the transcript picked that up as Vader. So she's testified on Vader. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah. How the hell is she supposed to know that she got the file when she didn't realize the file was there? So, okay. So I want
to take a break. That's
Could you please, in a loud, clear voice, state your name and spell what?
okay. I want to get some of her. So it's funny because she grew up in Massachusetts, you can tell. And then, but she spent a lot of time in California. But she still has that bit of Northeast accent. It's so crazy. So crazy how much of that accent you retain. Like I have a very, I think anyway, I have a very bland, not bland. Yes, that's right. It's just kind of sound bland, but I don't really have an accent. My family's from Ohio, Southern Ohio, and that accent is very different. It's not a Southern accent. It's not an Appalachian accent. It's like a mixture of a bunch of things. Like you've got, Northern Ohio, they get more of a Northern accent, whereas Southern Ohio has got its own weird little accent. It's got tinges of Appalachia in it and a little bit of the northern part of it. I mean, it's just a mishmash of everything. It's so funny, but I even growing up, I never had that real accent. Okay, so
State of California, the Corcoran State Prison.
All right, I want to. All right, let's go ahead and just go ahead and start recording, and then I'll skip around. I think because I want to just get some of her credentials here.
Takes lunch.
I'm emergency room forensic pathologist, just recently retired.
And prior to your retirement, what was your position?
The immediate position, just recent before retirement, was chief medical executive at for the state of California at the Corcoran State Prison.
So, Dr. Russell, I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up, okay?
All right, let's see.
Dr. Russell, you've had a cool career. It was distasteful to me as well.
A resident
career with whether you agree with recently retired is because the judge was shading her. This woman has had, whether you agree with her testimony or don't, I don't think many can disagree that this woman has had a fascinating career.
Oh, she's talking about when the judge was being a shithead to her.
Taking care of patients that are sick.
Yeah, here was what I wanted. Right here. All right.
What is it qualifies you as an emergency physician, starting with your education all the way back to college?
Oh yeah, you don't realize what you sound like.
Completed
somebody will bring it up occasionally.
Formal education beyond high school, which includes college, and then 4 years of medical school, then 4 years of emergency medicine residency and internship, and then 4 years of pathology residency, which includes 2 years of anatomic and 2 years
Wow.
of forensic pathology. And then I treated, excuse me, I've taken a bunch of other courses and attended seminars.
Let's start.
It's just so impressive. Super impressive. Started out at MIT, then had to go home because her mom had breast cancer. Went to the police academy and was a cop for 7 years, and then went and did all the medical stuff. What a just an amazing person. One of the, as I said in my description, one of the most experts that ever has experted. All right, so where do we get to dog bites? Let's go ahead. Let's get some Andrea on this too. When I've been watching the trial coverage during the day, I've been watching Andrea because she keeps it live the entire time, which is fine, and I know I can go back later on and watch all the stuff. Oh, man, yeah. So Missouri, that's kind of another interesting because it's not Southern. They've got an accent, but it's a mismatch of different kinds of accents. Accents are funny. All right, so let's get some of this, and then we'll get the transcript up, and then okay. Animal. Maybe we'll search for animal because I want to get a little bit of her animal bite testimony. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no, she says animal a bunch of times.
Any animals?
Oh,
Peer-reviewed articles. And done.
okay, there we go.
Have you ever published in the area, and now I'm going to get very specific, have you ever published peer-reviewed articles and done research in the area of animal bites and scratches?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that. That's all I need there. We'll get this one maybe.
Does that sound right? Did you also author or co-author an article called Law Enforcement Canine Dog Bites, Injuries, Complications, and Trends?
Yes.
So given those articles, did you study specifically?
I reviewed autopsy records, the autopsy report, and photographs, the autopsy pathology affidavit of Dr. Sheridan. I reviewed the town of Canton, a dog.
Oh, well, he doesn't like that. It looks like she is reading from her notes up there. I'm going to take a new opinion after everything has already been in animal bite. Get back to some of your guys' questions and comments and stuff.
Okay, so
Thomas,
this was
I
think I remember this. This was a pretty long.
Experience these.
A number of patterns that could be teeth or claw mark, and so this is one set of patterns, teeth, and those here.
So base that opinion.
The injuries, possibly a large dog animal.
Same.
All right, let's get this.
Review of all of the data that you've talked about, all of the information that you were given and reviewed. What is your opinion or conclusion about how these injuries were sustained?
I believe that these injuries were sustained by an animal, possibly a large dog, because of the pattern of the injuries.
Could you describe for the jurors, please, on what you base that opinion?
Yes. Well, may I use the,
Sure.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
There's a number of patterns here. There, up on the upper part of the arm, there's parallel lines, and those were inflicted by either teeth or claw marks. So there's a number of patterns that could be teeth or claw mark. And so this is one
All right,
set right
get
here.
that. Hey. And then
Thought it was good at first. Once she explained it and he kept going, I was kind of like, just show her the article and let her read it if you really care and you really want to ask her about it. I don't know if anybody else
Answer one question at a time, one speaker at a time.
getting aggressive with certain witnesses.
Now, you had,
Wafa, one of the differences is a lot of the times when Yannetti was getting aggressive with certain witnesses,
okay, let's see.
Start with your college. Where'd you go to college? Los Angeles County.
I have a very strong interest in wounds in general, and I have a strong interest in dog bites in
Well, that
particular.
explains the
During the
pathology
course of your
and the ER work.
career, your professional experience, how many patients would you say you've seen or treated
The residents that I supervised, it was, I'm sure,
that has been medicine in the past?
yes,
You qualify materials related to this case by John O'Keefe specific to his right arm.
yes.
What did you review in coming to your opinions and conclusions?
Well, I reviewed hospital records and
The animal, a dog, for instance, gets a very solid purchase.
All right, so
with the LA coroner's office.
and then some
Minutes of fame, I am going to lose my mind. Seems to think she's an interested party, or that she like chat. If Lally asks, "Are you just here for your 15 minutes of fame?" I am going to lose my mind.
I gotta get that. That's cool.
Chat. If Lally asks, "Are you just here for your 15 minutes of fame?" I am going to lose my mind. Is that where he's trying to go with this?
I don't know when the trial began.
now, as far as who reached out to who?
I reached out to a district attorney that I worked with with the LA coroner's office.
And then somehow that
Okay.
person put you in touch with Mr. Jackson. Is that
All right.
Excuse me?
you were under oath at that point?
Are allowed to do that. Jackson said, "We sent her everything in a Dropbox. She might have just not seen it. Once she became aware they existed, she went and reviewed it." Guess what? Experts are allowed to do that. They're experts. They're not percipient witnesses. More information becomes available, I'm going to look at it. It's a juxtaposition of Lally's experts who are like, nah, we're not going to look at anything else.
Listed. Became aware that those
For a canine that lived or resided at
Okay, let's get this her action, and I like her.
that you had reviewed. You included a number of items, but you did not include anything about a Dr. Sheridan affidavit, anything about a UC Davis report, or anything about any sort of bite history for a canine that lived or resided at 34 Fairview Road, correct?
That's true.
That's correct, because I hadn't reviewed them then.
And so since then, 2 days ago, now you've reviewed them,
Then
correct?
Yes, I became aware that those files exist.
experts, by the way, are allowed to continue reviewing information if it becomes clear that that exists. Alan Jackson said, "We sent her everything in a Dropbox. She might have just not seen it. Once she became aware they existed, she went and reviewed it." Guess what? Experts are allowed to do that. They're experts. They're not percipient witnesses. More information becomes available, I'm going to look at it. It's a juxtaposition of Lally's experts who are like, nah, we're not going to look at anything else.
Listed, yes.
Became aware of those files?
It's not
Were they not sent to
inappropriate.
you?
Right.
Subscription, because that's a weird length of time.
Then-
No.
Did you ever look at anything related to Mr. O'Keefe's head injury? And any sort of dog bite history, but you haven't had a chance to write a report?
Objection.
Sustain to that form.
You haven't written a report, correct?
That's correct.
Why not?
I haven't been asked to write a report, sir.
Did you ever look at anything related?
What? I mean, why is he got to be a jerk? That's what I don't get.
I'm rooting for it. To do that in the moment, though, because no, Jackson, let Lolly step in it. Let him just step in it. And then on redirect, be like, all right, if we're opening the door to all this shit, let's get into it. It's really, really hard to do that in the moment, though, because you just don't know. But I'm rooting for it.
Okay.
Believe that.
All right, let's see. Let's go back.
The National Academy.
He just said forensic odontology. And often forensic odontology deals with people. Watch a bad cross-examination, though. For school him, I'm not going to scream. No, I am talking about fucking human bite marks, though, and identifying. Lally.
For specifically,
Findings in the NAS report that has led to questioning of the value and scientific objectivity of such evidence.
for specifically identifying
Watch a
Lolly
bad
is such an
cross-examination, though.
idiot.
This is going to go
effects
badly.
of bite marks that have been deemed not reliable. And that I believe has to do with saying that this particular person or animal inflicted this particular bite.
Yes.
But that's very specific, and that's what I'm aware of.
That's exactly what the
recommendation.
report said.
You're not aware of any
Right. ID matching someone to a bite mark.
findings in the NAS report that has led to questioning of the value and scientific objectivity of such evidence.
For specifically identifying a bite mark.
I'm going to. Lally, are you unironically saying scientific objectivity in this trial? You know those words? Oh my God, I'm going to back up and just let her school him. I'm going to shut up.
Or animal, a abstract of a report that indicates
Those areas of the NAS report as well.
a question about
point?
that, or
First question was whether or not you're familiar with the report. You indicated that you weren't.
I did not read the report.
From the report.
Mr. Lally,
Sorry.
let the witness answer.
Ma'am,
One
it's not
question
you.
at a time, one speaker at a time.
You
Judge,
know,
can you answer?
Look at that face. Oh my God. Ooh, she is pissed. Oh my goodness. Watch this face. We're going to
Inflicted
record
bite mark.
this.
I think that's what that applies to.
Okay, I'm not asking, again, this is a report. Are you familiar with it or are you not familiar?
she's
I'm familiar with
the
a
issue.
summary or a abstract of a report that indicates that forensic odontology is not is deemed not reliable when it comes to that particular
ID.
narrow aspect of forensic odontology.
For identification purposes.
So you're not familiar with it also talking about.
That's not what she said.
Collection, analyses of these, interpretation, and reporting of results. You're not familiar with those areas of the NS report as well?
But what specifically, do you have a specific question
point?
about that, or?
My first question was whether or not you're familiar with the report. You indicated that you weren't.
I did not read the report.
From the report.
Mr. Lally,
Or-
let the witness answer.
Ma'am,
One
it's not
question
you.
at a time, one speaker at a time.
You
Judge,
know,
can you answer that?
in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he just hits all the buttons and makes like the vomit sound. I wish I could do that on my soundboard, but I can't.
Sure. I did not read that report.
Now, you had written some articles that you were asked about in reference to
Man, her face. Oh my God.
wounds. Is that right?
They can, yeah. We reported on all the ones that,
You skewed population in a study. Is that correct?
what we saw the worst of the
Or
worst.
no? Did you
Yes.
skew the population in the study?
That's
I'm sorry, I don't understand
Did
the
you
question.
skew the population.
We skew the, did we skew? No, we reported on all the ones that presented to the emergency room
but those
for
are the
care.
worst.
However, a lot of dog bites don't present to the emergency room.
And so from the different cases that you report on within that article, are there any of those cases in which there is injuries to just one aspect of one part of the human body for the victims of dog attacks or dog bites in those cases?
There may have been. That's a summary of the 700 cases, more than 700 cases.
Nobody.
Is it normal in any kind of animal attack for injuries to occur on just one side of one arm of the person that's being attacked, clawed, or bitten?
There are many people who are bitten or scratched.
I'm asking
Only-
if it's normal, man. That's all.
Okay, so
What a jerk. What a jerk ball. I mean, this guy.
Of the human body for the victims of dog attacks or dog bites in those cases.
There may have been. That's a summary of the 700 cases, more than 700 cases.
Nobody.
Is it normal in any kind of animal attack for injuries to occur on just one side of one arm of the person that's being attacked, clawed, or bitten?
There are many people who are bitten or scratched.
I'm asking
Only-
if it's normal, man. That's all.
okay, so hold on, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Lally, ask a question, wait for the answer, and then start a next question. Do not interrupt the witness.
I apologize. I don't mean
Yes.
to interrupt, but I'm asking for an answer response to the question.
She's not
So
asking you for
ask a
comment,
question.
Mr. Lally. She's asking you to wait. I think we're going to see Lally getting in the judge's crosshairs more now that he's on cross-examination.
And ask it in a manner that you get a response.
Oh,
Dr.
she's
Russell.
pissed.
Is it your testimony that it's normal in an animal attack for injuries to occur on just one side of one arm and nothing else, anywhere else on that person's body?
It can be, yes.
I'm not asking if it can be. I'm asking, is
You
that
said, is it
normal?
normal?
I can't say.
It's sustained. You have to ask the question differently.
So from your
Anyone else annoyed?
observations, you looked at various photographs of Mr. O'Keefe, is that right?
I did.
Did you observe
Oh,
any
she is
injuries on any other
pissed.
part of his body that you would attribute to an animal attack, whether they're claw marks or bite marks or anything else?
No,
So nothing on his left arm, correct?
nothing that identified as a dog bite or
Nothing on
scratch.
his legs, is that correct?
That's correct.
Nothing on his torso, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, you say an animal attack, possibly a large dog, correct?
Yes.
Can you say what type of animal left these marks that you attribute to an animal attack?
Not with 100% certainty. No.
Can you say where physically Mr. O'Keefe was located when the animal attack supposedly occurred?
What?
an idiot.
Can you say that?
No.
Of
Can you
course
say
not.
when Mr. O'Keefe purportedly sustained these injuries from an
Close
animal
in
attack?
time to when he died.
Well, to a certain degree, yes. Before, yeah, it was before death, but not long enough to have a big inflammatory reaction. So yes. So
I didn't think he
minutes
expected
to
that.
hours before death.
Minutes to hours before death, but at some point before death, correct?
Yes.
Can you say anything about the breed of dog?
No.
God, what a this guy. All right.
Expertise in her articles on what happened.
Scratches got there. You're saying, nope, had to be an animal attack.
I've seen thousands of wounded.
No, what I'm asking is.
All right, so
Ooh, I never got that. Where was that at? All right, I want to get that not in fast forward. So, all right, what am I looking for?
To observe on Mr. O'Keefe's arm is consistent with
An animal attack. So let's see what she say. Good. Consistent with an is it?
Also consistent with an animal. Is that also consistent?
to observe on Mr. So is it your testimony that from reviewing what you reviewed, that what you observe on Mr. O'Keefe's arm is consistent with an animal attack to the exclusion of any other possibilities?
To a degree of reasonable medical certainty, yes.
Yes.
So as far as any other sort of blunt impact injuries or other.
Okay, so I wanted to hear where they got cross again.
Animal attack to the exclusion of any other possibilities?
To a degree of reasonable medical.
Okay, so it was right before that. All right.
Is consistent that is it your testimony that from
So she just smiled.
question? Jackson.
O'Keefe's arm?
What you
You
just
saw in
said
those
was
photographs with
unscientific.
anything on clothing, correct?
Yes.
Material of dog bites from that dog from clothing, correct?
Yes.
So now
Did
you're
any
going to
of
ask
those
her to
dog
do
bites
what
that
you
you
just
saw in
said
those
was
photographs look
unscientific.
anything like what you observed in the photos that you saw of Mr. O'Keefe's arm?
No, but. Okay.
Objection, Your Honor.
No, so the answer is no. You can get back up, Mr. Jackson. But
Mhm.
the answer to that question is no. Next question.
What did I miss?
Certainty, yes.
To the exclusion of that what you observe on Mr. O'Keefe's arm is consistent with an animal attack to the exclusion of any other possibilities?
To a degree of reasonable medical certainty, yes.
So as far as any other sort of blunt impact injuries or other manifestations of how those scratches got there, you're saying, nope, had to be an animal attack.
I've seen thousands of wounded.
No, what I'm asking is.
All right.
Okay, that was it. It's after this. Okay, so I just got to keep going. Let's see. This get spicy. Her face, man. This is.
And she knew he was going to cut her off. So she just smiled.
So is it your testimony that from reviewing what you reviewed, that what you observe on Mr. O'Keefe's arm is consistent with an animal attack to the exclusion of any other possibilities?
To a degree of reasonable medical certainty, yes.
Yes.
So as far as any other sort of blunt impact injuries or other manifestations of how those scratches got there, you're saying, nope, had to be an animal attack.
I've seen thousands of wounded.
Tell me. What I'm asking is.
All right. So, Mr. Lally, I'm
Mhm.
going to let the witness answer.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I've seen thousands of people with injuries to their skin, and from blunt, from sharp, from all different mechanisms. Those injuries did not look like blunt force injuries.
So it's your testimony that the injuries to his arm don't look anything like blunt force injuries that you've seen before. You wouldn't characterize them as that?
That's correct.
What was that question? He think he just got one over on her? What a God, this guy's a jerk. Such a jerk. What did she say about this? Certainty.
Materials that you reviewed, were you
Okay.
We've discussed today.
did observe that you do attribute to an animal attack, and you even say with certainty whether or not those marks you feel are bite marks versus scratch marks. Do you have any idea which are which?
There may be a combination.
So is that a no?
Well, no, I think that the ones that had the linear.
Other men.
Yeah, we're just gonna get this here. Oop, shoot.
That what you observe on Mr. O'Keefe's arm is consistent with an animal attack to the exclusion of any other possibilities?
To a degree of reasonable medical certainty, yes.
So as far as any other sort of blunt impact injuries or other manifestations of how those scratches got there, you're saying, nope, had to be an animal attack.
I've seen thousands of wounded.
Tell me. What I'm asking you is,
All right.
Lally is trying to thread a needle here that he's not going to be able to thread with this witness, and she is not to be fucked with. This is an expert witness who has done this for a minute and knows what she's doing. So,
Yep.
how those scratches got there, you're saying, nope, had to be an animal attack.
I've seen thousands of wounded.
Tell me. What I'm asking you is,
All right. So, Mr. Lally, I'm going to let the witness answer.
go ahead, ma'am.
I've seen thousands of people with injuries to their skin, and from blunt, from sharp, from all different mechanisms. Those injuries did not look like blunt force injuries.
Hmm.
So it's your testimony that the injuries to his arm don't look anything like blunt force injuries that you've seen before. You wouldn't characterize them as that?
That's correct.
What an idiot.
And that's based on
He is so
some photographs and some other materials that you began reviewing sometime May 17th, 2024.
Yes, I'm an ER doctor. I need to make a diagnosis quickly.
Right.
Well, aren't they?
That is correct.
all right. Okay. I think we got enough. The good doctor, probably, yeah. All right. So I don't. All right,
say,
Mr.
sir, very, very curious.
All right. Let's see.
First of all, the search was how long to die in cold,
We know what the search was.
and it happened at or before 2:27 a.m.
All right. Go, Mr. Green.
When you reviewed data from her phone, did you find a particular artifact of interest?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
What
I
did you
did.
find?
We found a Google search that happened.
Mhm.
First of all, the search was how long to die in cold,
We know what the search was.
and it happened at or before 2:27 a.m.
All right. Where was that search found?
Sure. So that the artifact on that was called a Safari
History
suspended tabs
dot
artifact.
DB.
And there's a database associated with that called the browser DB database.
All right,
And
we don't need all that. Okay. Then, all right, let's move on to all right, Mr. Green. Oh wow, that's right. I was on opening ceremony. Opening ceremony. Opening statements. Jesus.
This case was in May of 2000.
Opening sessions. All right. Cross examination. All right. I need a transcript for these. Get some brandy here. And then F. I think I'm probably going to go take a break here and take the puppies out.
something called Health Kit, but it's integral to the iOS system. So anyone that has an iPhone probably seen Apple Health data, and what's internet history happened before that, and the purpose of this tab on at least this particular iPhone with this very specific iOS version is to record the state of that tab when the user left that. And the whole purpose of that is if you're on Safari, you're on a website and say you have to take a phone call or answer a text message and you navigate away from the Safari app, when you come back, it remembers where you were and allows you to pick off from there. It also allows you to hit the tab button and see what other tabs you might have open and navigate to one of those tabs.
All right, so as I see the last tab.
Oh, no.
Next week because she
Shoot. I did that wrong. I did that wrong.
that he's basing this on the very specific iOS version. And Whiffen said that he did not test.
As when this was, may we approach?
Okay.
Through searching, and this is from the phone of Jennifer McCabe, but through searching for that the number, I was able to see that it went to. You want me to say the name?
Sure.
Yep. Uncle Brian A.
Okay. I would offer that into evidence, Your Honor.
Same objection as before, Your Honor. As when this was, may we approach?
Okay.
Let's get Brandy. Let's go ahead and get that.
So he says at or before.
Right.
2:27.
No, exactly. Exactly. Like,
What's interesting is
go ahead, Brandy.
what's interesting is he has said twice that he's basing this on the very specific iOS version. And Whiffen said that he did not test this iOS version.
Correct. There you go.
I wonder if that makes a difference.
Yeah, like the cross-examination of Jennifer McCabe was an exact example of that. He was forceful, yes. He was they had a lot of heated back and forth, but he never, I mean, even when he was asking tough questions, he never got to the point where he was a complete a-hole. Correct. He was never that forcefully, and then he wasn't a jerk about it. He wasn't condescending. The condescension from Lally is just, it's very palpable. It's very apparent that he is not happy, that he thinks that he's, in the right. And yeah, so I'm going to take a moment. I will be right back. I got to get some more water and water. Just a moment. I wasn't sure how bad the cross was on this guy because I caught the main part of his thing, but I didn't catch all of his things. I'm hoping that, let's get this cross-examined.
However, I have participated in, God, I can't even count, hundreds of their.
And so, to the point, as far as you have no certifications in regard to Cellbrite as a tool and how to use it, those kind of things?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And in this specific instance, at any point, did you reach out to Cellbrite to go over sort of your findings or your opinions in relation to this search?
I did.
And who, if anyone, did you speak with from Cellbrite?
As close as I can remember, I know it was Leo, and I believe it was Santos.
And do you know what part of Cellbrite they work in or what they do?
Well, he was in the technical support, and they came back.
Told that you were referred to Mr. Whiffen's team and you weren't contacted by anyone from Mr. Whiffen's team?
No, and I forget the exact date. A couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, out of the blue, I got an email from Ms. Whiffen saying, and I can't I don't want to misquote them, but certainly I got an email
I'm not
from
asking
him.
you about any specific conversation
Okay.
that you had. What I'm asking, and I'm asking about a time period more back in 2022.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Back in 2022, did you reach out to Cellbrite in relation to this search and your opinions related to it?
Yes, sir.
And at that point, was that the point that you spoke to someone from technical support?
Yes, sir.
And at that point, did someone from technical support actually refer you or tell you that they were referring you to Mr. Whiffen's team?
No, sir. I had absolutely no idea about that.
So no one from no one from Mr. Whiffen's team reached out to you, and then you just never called them back. That didn't happen.
Not that I'm aware.
A jerk ball. All right. Let's get it. Let's see. Okay.
Back.
The certifications, which again, this all kind of goes hand in hand, but the certification training would be the type of data that's being pulled out on the artifacts. For example, steps
so
are known to
this
have an
is-
accuracy. We found is that when we looked at a particular URL, a particular website that was visited, and then searched using that URL, the browser state database entry is the last entry in all of that. So we could see search.
The difference between the calls that were at 8:59 and after on January 29th, 2022, and the calls that were before 8:50 a.m. on that was listed as deleted until 8.
You had a chance to review those materials as well.
Yes, sir.
You understand that they both disagree with what your opinion is in relation to those searches.
I absolutely understand that, sir.
Now, I'm just having a difficult time from the certifications that you have. At what point were you or were your use and interpretation of data from Cellbrite?
Certainly. So and how we could do more work and such like that. Cellbrite, I do not have any specific Cellbrite certifications. They offer many of them. However, I have participated in, God, I can't.
Wanted to skip where he said that.
Particular phone in this particular iOS, and also with the user interacted with it, that it would have been at the 227 or before. The way this very specific iOS was happening, that is consistent with all the other ones that I observed out there on the phone related to specific web. Sorry?
Do you not understand the question?
Kurt says, I'm an IT guy and I don't understand the question.
If I'm understanding correctly, when the WAL file gets written to the database, and could that have made the change ending with this deleted record? Is that the question? I'm sorry. I want to answer you. I'm just
Lally doesn't know how to ask the question.
Your question as well as I can. So it's not at the beginning, it's not at the end, and I have a couple thoughts on why that may be in regards to Ms. Hyde and Ms. Whiffen. I'm happy to share those with you.
Yeah, tell us why they're
I'm not
wrong.
asking you anything about that, sir.
Very
What I'm
good.
asking is it possible for
All right. This sounds like a weird exchange here. Something we should get.
And Ms. Whiffen, I'm happy to share those with you.
Yeah, tell us why they're
I'm not
wrong.
asking you anything about that, sir. What
Very
I'm
good.
asking is it possible for a change request in the WAL to a SQLite database pertaining to one particular field, leaving the other field as what they were previously?
I want to answer your question as well as I can. So can you repeat that one more time?
Is it possible for a change request in the wall to a SQLite database pertaining to one particular field, leaving the other fields as what they were previously?
So I'm having a little trouble answering this. So, if I'm understanding correctly, when the wall file gets written to the database, and could that have made the change ending with this deleted record? Is that the question? I'm sorry. I want to answer you. I just
Yeah,
a
Lally doesn't know
little-
how to ask the question properly. He's got a script and he probably wrote the questions out wrong, which you're way smarter than he is. So you can't understand it because he's not asking it the proper way. Right. Kurt says, I'm an IT guy and I don't understand the question.
Yeah, it's it's ridiculous.
It's you, Lally. It's not him.
lost on how you're asking it.
And the question?
Sorry?
Do you not understand the question?
Why don't you move on, Mr. Mayor?
It's you. Hey,
Is it
you're the
possible
problem.
that the
It's
URL field, which has the website name, was updated to the newest search while the timestamp retained the original search? Is that possible?
No, not the way on this particular phone in this particular iOS, and also with the user interacted with it, that it would have been at the 227 or before. The way this very specific iOS was happening, that is consistent with all the other ones that I observed out there on the phone related to specific web searches and activity.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That the search for How Long to Die in the Cold at 6:24 a.m. was the most recent search completed in the tab.
Oh, well, not in that tab, but I certainly agree with you that there was a second search done at around that time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Included, is it from the iOS as far as the search?
Okay, I didn't
Digest
hear your
food?
whole question, but I heard the last part about how long to digest food. So I can opine on that. So my feeling on that is I'm doing my testing, is after the
Suggestion and not something that was actually.
suggestions that actually came up
And so
Good.
that was something.
would come up. I also noticed the specific phrase, how long does it take to die from hypothermia? So as you do this Google search, you try to repeat what's being done. Those are two suggestions that actually came up.
And so
Good.
that was something that was a suggestion and not something that was actually searched, correct?
Yeah, no, and I know that's different from my affidavit.
Oh, what was he saying about Miss Hyde?
Ms. Hyde's report. So I want to do everything I can to shine as much light and clarity on this as possible. So as I repeated, since that time and did the search, I would notice.
Pains and penalties of perjury with this court.
Oh, the
correct?
pains.
Yes, actually, a similar, if not the same picture found in the artifacts of that phone.
And so just to conclude, that's not what you said in your affidavit that was actually filed under pains and penalties of perjury with this court.
Oh, the
correct?
pains.
Yes, and on that day, that is what my true and proper belief was. Okay, it is since further testing, I have found that I now believe that was probably an automatic one. And if I've caused you any distress, I apologize.
Nah.
Actually, a similar, if not the same picture found in the artifacts of that phone.
And so just to conclude, that's not what you said in your affidavit that was actually filed under pains and penalties of perjury with this court.
Oh, the
correct?
pains.
Yes, and on that day, that is what my true and proper belief was. Okay, it is since further testing, I have found that I now believe that was probably an automatic one. And if I've caused you any distress, I apologize.
Wouldn't cause me any
So
distress.
cute. If I've caused you any distress, I apologize. Oh, I looked at him. He's so happy. He's so nice. He's like Santa. Somebody said he's like IT Santa. Oh, I love that description. What are the pains and penalties of perjury? I'm sorry if I've caused
What a
you any
jerk.
distress.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
God.
We got to play that again.
All right. I got to see what EDB said about that. Perjury.
Not what you said in your affidavit that was actually filed under pains and penalties of perjury with this court, correct?
Yes, and on that day, that is what my true and proper belief was. Okay, it's since
All right, I guess she wasn't there. All right, and let's find perjury here.
artifacts of that phone.
And so just to conclude, that's not what you said in your affidavit that was actually filed under pains and penalties of perjury with this court, correct?
Yes, and on that day, that is what my true and proper belief was. Okay, it's since further testing, I have found that I now believe that that was probably an automatic one, and if I've caused you any distress, I apologize.
Haven't caused me any distress.
Interesting.
What I'm asking, sir, is that that's what you filed.
Interesting.
That's what you thought at the time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that opinion changed.
Subsequently, you've done further testing, and that's shown that you were wrong, correct?
That is correct.
Now, according to your
Interesting.
affidavit, there was a search for how long to digest food at 6:23:49 a.m. that proceeded.
You're still stuck on the coroner being like, this is inconsistent with a vehicle collision. You're probably just sitting there going, why are we even here? The fact that the predictive search had nothing to do with cold or die to back up her opinion.
I took the phone from the floor to the ceiling to see if it would record a flight of stairs.
Did you put it on a
did
fan?
Not. The only with that iPhone 11, same make and model that I got, it was very consistent with me actually doing walking steps, and that was whether I had it in my shirt pocket, my pants pocket, or clipped onto my belt.
Okay.
Testimony?
That is my testimony. Yes, sir.
Now, are you familiar with GPS native locations?
He's like, that
Yes,
is my
sir.
testimony.
And GPS
I
native
tried it.
locations takes its data as far as defining latitude and longitude from a number of different sources, correct?
Data possible.
So it takes GPS native locations within an Apple iOS device takes from 4 different sources. Isn't that correct?
Speaking of which, I'm going to check my Pokemon eggs at the moment.
It tries to get from a variety of sources, like I just mentioned. Not all would be available.
Now, with regard,
What a jerk. Lolly is such a jerk. My God.
Took place while John O'Keefe was in the car. The prosecution's job to say, no, all of those possibilities aren't in the pool. I'm teasing. Pete, maybe what songs are community in real life. Tonight, I'm
Apple Health.
interesting.
search, what you indicated as last view time, are you aware that that is actually related to a time that
I thought it was. I'm really glad I backed it up because what he's saying is the 227 timestamp is the last time that that tab was focused to that iOS, which is different than what I thought he was saying, which is why I backed that up to hear it again.
All right. Okay. I think I am done for the evening. I'm going to stop here. It's 8 o'clock my time. I'm going to go get myself an egg and ham croissant. I'm going to take some sliced deli ham, which is honey ham. Actually, it's really good. Boar's head, maple glazed honey ham. And I'm going to put that in a frying pan. And I'm going to just warm it up some. And then I'm going to take 2 eggs from our chickens outside, some fresh eggs. And I'm going to crack those. And then I'm going to cook those over easy. And then I'm going to take a croissant, which I bought today when I went out and went to the store. And then I'm going to take the over easy egg, or take the ham, put it on the croissant. Take the over easy eggs, put it on the croissant, then put the top on the croissant, and then smash it down. Before you do that, you got to cut the egg so the gooey yolk runs out of it. I know, right? It's so good. I could live on these things, and I probably will for the next few days. So that and sushi. So anyway, that's what I'm going to go do right about now. But yeah, I'll probably I think I'm gonna change this to next week. I'm gonna do a full recap of the trial video. Eventually this one I'm gonna get this witness. I'm gonna get the two crash experts and a little bit of the second medical examiner. I want to get some of that. Oh wait.
I don't want to be misleading as I am trying to parse all of confusion. It is confusing. It's not you.
And are you aware that's a tool that was actually created?
Time that was focus was 220.
All right. I can't get sidetracked. So yeah, so I'm going to do this video and then I think we'll do a longer kind of trial recap video. And I got some really fun B-roll that I'm going to be recording at the studios here next week, which is just kind of going to play in. So I'm going to take kind of the case from the beginning, get some of the best scenes from each, from as the prosecution is laying up their case, and then as the defense knocks all those down, we're gonna see what I have in mind. So I've got some ideas, gonna put those to work. So next week we should hopefully be shooting that, and then we'll go from there. So I'll probably, like I said, I'm going to be doing this from home all week. So I will probably stream again tomorrow night because I definitely need some more clips. And then Thursday, we're going to have to, which I don't, the reason I moved that computer in was so I get to this studio was so I could edit from in there. But since I got to be on dog duty, I'll be editing from here, so that will be fun. I haven't edited from this computer yet, but I have no worries that it's going to do it. But yeah, it's just this is not really set up as an editing station when you've got a big steering wheel right here in front of you. It doesn't make for the most comfortable editing position, but we'll make it work. Because that's what we do. We make stuff work. So, okay. I will catch you tomorrow night, probably about the same time, 6 o'clock Anchorage time. It would be 10 o'clock Eastern. Or I think 7 o'clock Texas time. So, all right. No, that's not. It's 9 o'clock Texas time, I think. It should be 3 hours. Anyway. All right. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. And I will see you next time. All right. Oh, yeah. I need this mouse to end the stream. Okay. Good night.